All right, welcome everyone. Today we've got something really special for you. A beautiful Christmas story that takes place right in the heart of Florence. It's called the Ponte Vecchio Bell Ringer's Gifts. And trust me, it's a wonderful little tale. It's all about a touch of magic, three people who are feeling a bit lost, and how sometimes the simplest gifts can change, well, everything. So, let's dive right in.
Okay, so picture this. It's midnight on Christmas Eve in Florence. Can you see it? The Arno River is just shimmering, reflecting all these golden lights, and you can smell roasted chestnuts in the air. The whole city has this incredible energy, right? But the real magic, the heart of our story, is happening on the city's oldest bridge, the Ponte Vecchio. It's quiet there, still a little wet and glistening from a rain shower earlier in the evening. This is where it all begins.
So right there in the middle of the bridge, there's this mysterious figure. The locals call him Il Campanaro, which just means the bell ringer. He's a bit of a legend, really. He only shows up once a year on this very night with a little brass bell, and he has this one very important rule. He only rings it 3 times, exactly 3. And each ring is meant for a specific soul, someone out there who truly, desperately needs to hear it.
All right, so let's get to that first ring. Tonight, it's meant for a young woman named Chiara. Now, Chiara is a gifted apprentice, a goldsmith, but she's hit a major roadblock. Something has gone terribly, terribly wrong with her work.
So here's what's happening to her. She's developed this tremor in her hand. For a goldsmith, that's a disaster, right? All that delicate, precise work is suddenly impossible. But it's not just physical. She is absolutely terrified. She's thinking her dream is completely over. And worse, she's picturing the look on her mentor's face, the one person who really believed in her. Her whole future just feels like it's crumbling.
And just as she's walking across the bridge, lost in all this fear, she hears it. Ding! The first bell. The bell ringer approaches her, and what he says is so profound. He tells her, "Your hands are not broken. They are speaking." Think about that. He doesn't give her some magical cure. He completely changes how she sees the problem. Her hands aren't the enemy. They're sending her a message. He gets right to the heart of it.
And his gift for her? It's twofold. First, he gives her this little piece of parchment with a simple message. Your craft awaits your patience. He explains that her hands are shaking because she's rushing things, trying to force it. Her heart isn't keeping up with her hands. The second part of the gift is this tiny little bronze hammer, a charm. It's there to remind her that real strength isn't about having steady hands, it's about having a steady spirit. See? The answer wasn't perfection. It was patience.
Okay, so that was Chiara. Now the second bell is about to ring. And this one is for a guy named Marco. He's a chef, and a really successful one at that. But he's lost that special spark, the very thing that made him a great cook in the first place.
Yeah, on the outside, Marco looks like he has it all. But inside, he is just hollowed out, completely burned out. You know that feeling? The pressure, the long hours, it's all just worn him down. He used to be the guy singing in the kitchen, full of life. Now, nothing. He says even his own food tastes like ash. The joy is just gone. And when the joy goes, the passion goes right with it.
Ding! The second bell rings. The bell ringer fides him and just cuts right to the chase with this simple, brilliant insight. He looks at Marco and says, "Your fire has dimmed because your heart burns too many candles at once." Wow. He sees that the passion isn't dead. It's just exhausted, spread too thin. Marco's been so busy trying to feed everyone else that he's completely forgotten to feed his own soul.
So for Marco, the gift isn't a little charm. It's more like a doctor's prescription. It's an action. The bell ringer tells him, cook one dish tomorrow only for yourself. And when Marco asks, what should I cook? The answer is perfect. Whatever your childhood loved most. It's such powerful wisdom, right? You've got to feed yourself before you can feed the world. It's all about getting back to that pure, simple joy that made him fall in love with cooking in the first place.
All right, 2 down, 1 to go. The third and final bell. This one finds Elena. She's a traveler, but right now she's just adrift. She's wandering through Florence, totally lost, just looking for some kind of sign to tell her which way to go.
I think we can all relate to Elena's feeling of being stuck. She's gone through a really rough patch, a bad breakup, quit a job that was just draining her soul, and she came to Florence hoping for some answers, but all she's found is more confusion. And now she's paralyzed by this fear, the fear of choosing the wrong path. So what does she do? Nothing. She's just frozen, and it's making her feel completely invisible.
Ding! There's the third bell.
The bell ringer finds her, and he just nails it. He tells her, "You don't need a map, only a beginning." He sees that she's waiting for this perfect, foolproof plan, some kind of guarantee that she won't mess up. But life just isn't like that, is it? He tells her, you don't need to see the entire road ahead. You just need to start.
So his gift to her is all about courage. He gives her a piece of parchment with this incredible, liberating truth written on it. No one ever feels ready. We begin imperfectly. I mean, how true is that? And to go with it, he gives her a tiny brass key, a little charm. The instruction? Just use it to unlock one door tomorrow. Any door. A class, a cafe, a conversation, whatever. The point is, just start. Don't overthink it. It's the perfect antidote to that paralysis, isn't it? One small, simple action.
So let's recap. We have these three people, each dealing with something so incredibly human, right? You've got Chiara, who's terrified of not being perfect. You've got Marco, who's just completely burned out and has lost his passion. And then there's Elena, frozen by the fear of making the wrong choice. And for each one, the bell ringer gives them this perfect little course correction for their thinking. For Chiara, it's patience over perfection. For Marco, it's self-care over service. And for Elena, it's taking action over waiting for absolute certainty.
And with that, his work is done. The 3 bells have been rung, the 3 souls have their gifts, and you can just feel this little flicker of hope has been reignited in each of them. So now, just as mysteriously as he appeared, Il Campanaro gets ready to vanish back into the night.
He lifts his bell one last time. But this one's different. It isn't for anyone specific. It's just this soft, shimmering sound that kind of hangs in the air and melts into the quiet hum of the sleeping city.
And right at that moment, this sudden gust of wind just sweeps across the Ponte Vecchio. It makes all the lanterns flicker and their lights dance around in the cold air. And then, poof. When the lights stop flickering and everything is steady again, he's gone. No dramatic farewell, no puff of smoke. He's just vanished.
But you know, he didn't leave without a trace. There's this faint smell left in the air, kind of like old paper and winter spices. And, of course, the most important thing he left behind, those 3 little gifts, now glowing softly in the hands of the people who needed them most. The magic is still there, like a quiet promise floating on the Florentine air as the river below whispers Buon Natale, Merry Christmas.
And that's where our little story ends. It's just such a beautiful reminder, isn't it? That sometimes the most powerful gifts we can receive aren't things you can wrap in a box. They're just the right words, at the right time. A little piece of wisdom that helps you find your footing again. And it kind of makes you wonder, right? It leaves us with this one last question to think about. If that bell rang for you tonight, what would you need to hear?